Hello, welcome back. I told you it'd be a short break. Did you miss us? I hope so. I hope you missed the other person that's currently with me right now, which is Eric Conanhawk Hawkins. That's fun to say. I've never done that. Yeah. that's normally a Brasky move. I like that.
Yeah.
Eric, how was your break?
It was all right. Serena is meeting with a friend, so I got to go, hang out, say hi. So that was exciting.
Fun.
Yeah.
You didn't miss too much. We did. Oh, actually, just kidding. You did miss a lot. I forgot.
Uh-oh.
I made fun of you a lot while you were gone.
Oh no.
So there was a really funny scenario where in the beginning of this tournament, I brought up a really cool deck name. I was very proud of the deck name. I thought it was really cute, bringing to light the issues with dual lands. And then you were like, well, actually, Caroline, I don't think the deck is that great. Well, guess what? Aaron was 4-0, and we watched him play, and it was super sweet.
That's pretty
sweet. He did not win, but it was still super sweet. Unfortunately, there may have been a pretty big opponent in our way, which was the Dr. Mad on the blue-white control deck. I don't know if you've seen it. We saw it once on camera before then. That deck seems to have everybody's number. They're mana drain, absorb, fourth spike. We're doing some work in this format. So I believe Carolyn even potentially predicted Dr. Mad's rising to the top of this tournament. We've got a long way to go before we get there. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of where we're getting to, it's a great question. Unfortunately, we didn't actually get very far. We are still in round 5. As much as we did take a little break skis, we are unfortunately waiting for a match to resolve that we cannot watch. The worst kind of Magic in my opinion. No, I'm just kidding. But we are going to let that wrap up pretty soon. We'll head over to round 6. Which will be our final round of Swiss, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see.
Believe you are correct.
And after Swiss 6, that's hard to say. After 6 rounds of Swiss, we are going to be cutting to top 8 players, and those top 8 players are going to head on over for a single elimination, bringing us a winner. Hopefully, a winner. Unlike last time.
Our track record with finals is not great.
No,
whether it be
really
us or the players' internet is.
Yeah, agreed. And then we're getting, so the way the prizes do work, prizes are not really rewarded until top 8. So we're kind of battling it out here with all of our players for one more round. 1.5 since we're waiting for round 5 to finish. But the one bonus part is at the end of round 6, so in about an hour, I'll put a time on it, say about an hour, we're going to get a bonus guest. That isn't me or Carolyn, unfortunately, though we're both great. But it is V.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to join in and say his
I'm sorry, Mauschwitz.
Thank you. And he's going to be joining us live on coverage. He's got some news for us. He's going to award our 3 bonus decks, Best Choice, Sweetest Brew, and Most Powerful Deck. That isn't Best Choice. We might need to work on that title, but that's okay. And we're going to talk a little bit about deck lists. Zvi is a pretty famous deck builder, Hall of Famer, and wants to tell us all about the things that he observed in this tournament. And I think it's a super bonus thing that makes the structure, this set roulette thing, just stand out a little bit different. So pretty excited for that. We actually went over standings already. Have you had a chance, Eric, to see kind of what's rising to the top right now?
Yeah, I got back. It looks like I just clicked it, and it is updated. So we've been talking about the bug clamp deck basically a lot of the day. It's been brought by a lot of the better players in the tournament. Or I shouldn't say the better players, but the bigger names anyway in the tournament. So not surprising to see that at the top. You already brought up Dr. Mad, who's also at the top. The 2 undefeateds at this point are the blue-white control and the bug skull clamp. And then the rest of these, they have some naming issues, right? Bring to light the issues with dual lands, deckless base, obviously. So like these are a little harder to tell exactly what they are. But I do think that like outside of the blue-white deck, I think a lot of these decks kind of were the decks that I thought were going to be really good. Mono red machines, just being like, the Arcbound Ravager style stuff with Skull Clamp.
Have you checked out what Jack Cummings is on?
I did not. It's a deck list base.
Oh, but it's a good one.
Ooh, that is really sweet.
It's a real spicer. So we got Forerunner of Slaughter, Ravenous Wraps, Drana, card that never made good in any format, Sludge Crawler, Gobbler Rats, Blazing Spectre. So I assume this is just a Rakdos aggro.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
I love Phoenixes. They're always so good.
Fire Ambush. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Just another Volcanic Hammer.
Oh, we also have Pulse of the Forge, which...
Yes, that card is great. That card is fantastic.
So you missed it on last round. Aaron was at 3 life, was pretty much dead to just anything. Drew Chain Lightning as the only card in his hand and cast it, targeted himself, went to 0, and then Moto's like, oh, but wait, please decide if you'd like to play double red. And so he made double red and targeted his opponent's creature.
That's really nice.
I believe it was the best way for coverage to get anything out of that. So I was pretty excited. We also have Jack Kiefer on another Skull Clamp mid-range thing, doing well at 4-1. We have... So I think Jack's deck is pretty similar to what else is going on in the format. I think the difference that I've seen is that he has Mana Drain in the main as opposed to in the sideboard, but everything else is like pretty similar. Everybody found that Woodland Wanderer card. That's gas. That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean it's just like a powerful 4-drop, right? There's like they're one of the things that seems to be lacking in this particular format is just like a powerful endgame card, right? So Woodland Wanderer at least fills that void.
Wait, but Eric, I thought you said Ulamog was in this format.
Well, I guess maybe you can Mana Drain a Woodland Wanderer.
Well, as much as I like chatting with you, Eric, we should get into business. Where that business is right there, and I'm totally on board and ready to watch Magic. Yay. We're watching the Mono Red machines. So I was really upset because I saw the deck name and then I went and looked at the deck and I was like, excuse me, none of these machines are Mono Red. And I was really sad. But then I realized...
Golem is kind of red.
Sure, but then I realized what was actually happening. Oh, Affinity for Mountains?
Yeah, that card is super nice.
Wait, how does that work?
Well, right now it costs 5. When they play another mountain, it would cost 4, etc. So...
Because I was like, don't you already tap a mountain anyway to cast it? So, okay, that's sweet.
Yeah, so essentially, every mountain produces 2 mana for Oxidia Golem, which is really cool. But sometimes you don't even have to tap any mana. Like, if you just have 6 mountains, you just cast it for free.
So we have seen Paul Green is doing something similar. Like, we saw him win a game earlier with Arcbound Stinger. But this time we're watching Philip. And Philip is doing similar things. I see both Arcbound Stinger and Arcbound Ravager in hand, but we've dropped all the colors. We're mono red. I think the mono red is only for the spells. I think there's like Chain Lightning and something else. Yeah,
this build, this deck is much more aggressive than the other ones that we've seen. Yeah.
What does Black Vice do? Black Vice enters battlefield, choose an opponent.
It's a nice one. You're gonna like this.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is opposite to
Ivory Tower.
No, what? Maybe that's not.
Oh, and the Rack.
Yes. Okay.
You're thinking of the Rack.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Rack. Okay, so there's Jack's main deck Mana Drain. Gonna get some advantage there. Wait, are we playing Jack Kiefer? Is that what's happening? No, because that's not Jack Kiefer's moto name, so I was just confused. One sec. No, you're probably right.
Maybe this is one of Jack's alternate names.
Yeah, it must just be because they're definitely playing against Jack. So.
Oof! I like that. A little Aether Vial trickery there. Get to attack with your 1/1. What's the worst that could happen when I block? Ooh, Aether Vial in Arcbound Ravager and get a counter on it thanks to the modular.
Okay, I did some sleuthing, and this is Jack Kiefer, just a different moto name, so we're all good. I went into Jack's coverage stream and checked it out. Sorry, thanks for updating us.
Yeah. A little interesting choice, though. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
There was 1 mana open, and they decided not to play Skull Clamp, and I wonder why that is. Maybe they just accidentally hit F6 or something by accident. I don't know.
And then we got twisted.
Yeah, so we actually lost our Skull Clamp.
Ooh, that's a little sad. So it looks like we're staying on 2. Does that the deck curve? Not punished. Yeah. Not even remotely punished. Our player Philip is great.
To answer your question, yes. The deck does top out at 2, except for Exidia Golem, which costs 6, but you're probably not either piling that one into play.
No, probably not. Oh man, sorry, that was very funny. Like, oh no, we had to discard a skull clump. Don't worry about it. I got one. Ooh, that's a mountain. I didn't even know we had white. What's the white for?
Just looks like sideboard cards, but I don't see any. Oh wait, no, I literally don't see any white cards.
There's just no white cards.
So it's just a free roll.
It's just free. Yeah. We also have Volcanic Islands because why not?
They had more. They wanted to show off that they had plateaus and volcanic islands available to them.
I'm for it. You know what? That's what we're here for. Show us those duels. What does this one? Deal 3 damage to any target. So it's a lightning strike, a sorcery lightning strike.
Yeah, there's a older card that since I'm 1,000, I remember. It's called Volcanic Hammer. That is a sorcery speed lightning strike. Okay.
Listen, I don't have a lot of things to reference, okay? Leave my lightning strike reference alone. Well, okay. So I believe last turn we did do the make Blinkmoth a creature skull clamp it. That happened, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we are out of drawing cards for now. Unfortunately, we did draw a lot of lands. Do we just cast Fire Ambush?
I think that's what so it looks like, obviously saw the window kind of disappear there. That I think Worldwake is looking up Jack's list to make sure nothing can really stop him here, and it would only be mana drain.
What are your thoughts on doing that now?
I don't mind it, but
there's creatures in our opponent's deck.
Yeah, like it would be nice to kill like a Trigon Predator, but we're getting close to the point where Trigon Predator has to chump block anyway.
Right. Okay. I guess sorcery does make it a little tricky. I don't know what's happening here. So
the other really big thing is that you do have the skull clamp, right?
Oh, wait! This art is really sweet. This art looks exactly like the rack art. Mm-hmm. It's the opposite, right? It's so cool. So I assume we're gonna eat this, right?
I doubt it. Jack is. Let's see.
We don't. It doesn't trigger, right? Don't you need like 4 cards in your hand to trigger it?
Yeah, so they do end up sacrificing it.
It doesn't change the clock, but like you do have burn in your deck, so I'm not against it.
Yeah, that's like the reason I was thinking about not sacrificing it, right?
Yeah.
Is like you either put them to 3, which is what your burn spells do, or you put them to 2. So it like didn't seem to matter too much.
So I imagine that's what Philip wants to do here, right? Like I believe that game is exactly how he intended to draw it up. Get some creatures in, start attacking. Even got Mind Twisted. Didn't matter.
That is one way to defeat Mind Twist, right? Is just be the aggressive deck. It's like you discard your last 3 cards and you're like, okay, but I'm already on the board.
I thought you meant it was like to discard a skull clamp and then draw a skull clamp.
That also helps.
Okay.
That does also help.
No, I'm not making. It was just a funny set of circumstances. It's totally reasonable. Why the skull clamp was still in our hand, and it's totally reasonable to draw one off the top of our deck because we're great. Yeah. So there looks like there were some pretty dramatic changes. It does look like the Black Vices came out. Only 2 of the Molten Nurseries came in. I kind of love that card. I would just bring them all in. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a type of deck where even just being able to cast our creatures could just result in victory, and I would bring them all in. I think it's great. I think it's a slow enough matchup where you'd want to do that, but totally reasonable. We only brought 2. We did mulligan down here with our beautiful volcanic mismatched islands in our hand. Put back one of these chain lightnings, get us going. We got a skull clamp, a vial, a creature. Let's go. Right?
Yeah, that's how you draw it up, right? Aether vial allowing you to do free mana.
Jack draws it up this way too, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Ramping to 3. If a Trigon Predator comes down on turn 2, it's pretty good for Jack. We do have the chain lightning, so we're not in any danger of that being too crazy. But still definitely something you want to get down. Ooh.
Yeah, I actually like the 8 burn spells that Philip chose to Oh wow, this is a crazy.
Did you see what just happened? Jack hit twice off his Coiling Oracles. That was amazing. Look at his lands. Drop Volcanic Bayou, the white-black one. Scrubland. Okay, I get there.
It's also like crazy that he could cast both of them.
I know. That was so funny. Holy cow. Well done, Jack. I'll say well done. We have, multiples of things as well, which could be great if we're getting to draw a lot of cards and we have these Aether Vials to bring in creatures. So, we could be getting something rolling. Right now, Jack sorted the beatdown. I don't know if he's going to attack with these.
Oh, yeah. Definitely beat down with
this. Speaking of the beatdown. Wow, can you believe this is turn 3 or is this turn 4? Turn 4 for Jack. Yeah. Okay. Still, wow, that was so impressive. Wait, so attack here.
No, this is turn 3.
No, we were on the draw.
Yeah, but we went Tropical Island and then
turn 3.
Into Volcanic Island the next turn and got 2 lands off of our Coiling Oracles.
Wow, this is turn 3. You're totally right. Oh my gosh. Jack, that is so cool. So yeah, we got 2 lands ahead of time plus the Utopia Sprawl. So we were 3 lands ahead of our game. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I think our Skull Clamp is going to have to be really solid here if we're going to come back in this one, right?
So how are we doing this? So it looks like we were going to play the Stinger from our hand. Sorry, and then I think we're going to modular onto our Stinger, so it's a little bit of a 2/2. Mm-hmm. I will say that you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up in sideboarding. Jack gets 3 Oxidizes out of his sideboard.
So we do have this Chain Lightning, but unfortunately it's not that great because we can Chain Lightning now, but Jack can just re-equip to the other one. So
you can't Chain Lightning the equipped one.
It's both blue and red. Oh my gosh. Magic's great. I was getting there. Don't worry. You do a little chump off. No trample from all that powerful stuff going on over there. So that's reasonable. We did get to finally modular onto our Stinger, so that's good.
No trample from our 1/1 Coiling Oracle. Oh no. We're gonna see a Is it gonna see the equip?
Wow.
Ooh. I wonder Jack is holding open mana drain mana. That is the only reason I can imagine that Jack wouldn't have equipped the Sword of Fire and Ice onto the Trigun Predator.
Right. Oh, because now we get to Chain Lightning. But then if we have Mana Drain, we're all good to go anyway. Mm-hmm. And I believe this is a right click concede for me, but totally there's not many turns to play it out anyway. So
wow, that was your time in the sun.
Yeah. That was a brutal set of circumstances that happened there. Those oracles into Oracle was just wow.
Yeah.
That was some good magic being had.
Just for a single blue mana, you can change your Elvish Visionary into possibly Mana Acceleration.
Are you trying to do like what do you call it? Like a infomercial? For one super blue mana, you too can have your own land drops. Oh man, that was. You know what the crazy part about those oracles were? They were all the lands of his deck. Like he went Trop into Volcanic into Bayou and then played Scrublands from hand. It's just amazing. It was just so good. I enjoyed watching. It was good. Or maybe we played Bayou from hand and then played Scrublands game. But still, it was pretty funny. What we got going on here? We got some Jack doing things that Jack does. Attacking us down, blowing up the Stinger. We have a Ravager, but I don't think it's going to be that good. We do get to sack whatever Jack tries to blow up, but it's likely going to be the Ravager, so...
See, like this is like where you were talking about right-clicking and conceding last turn. I think this might be where I am because I drew like the best creature in my deck, and it looks pretty embarrassing right now.
Right. Yeah, I'm totally down for people to play it out, and I might even still play it out in this spot. I didn't mean to say like our opponent should do something or should not do something, but Jack's deck did exactly what Jack's deck should do, and there is likely not a lot for us to do from there, but. Let's play some Magic. We're still at 50 in life. We got some time.
I mean, like similar to what you're saying. Like, I mean, one of the best players in the world, Reed Duke, right? Like, how many times have you watched a Reed Duke match and been like, why didn't you concede like 4 turns ago? And he just like keeps on playing, right? And it's like he's gaining a little bit of information here and there, right? And you get to see maybe a sideboarded card that you might not have seen before. So definitely things to learn.
Yeah, like those are probably the right answers. I mean, for me, it's also just like I signed up Sunday afternoon to play some Magic. I'm going to play some Magic. Like,
there's that. It's
totally reasonable to do that.
Yeah.
And so all the power to Philip for sure, and to Jack. Jack stuck around the last game too.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if our stream froze because our timers aren't moving.
That's a great thing. What we could do is I will investigate over on Jack's side.
Oh, there goes. Jack just gained a bunch of minutes, so I guess we'll find out.
Okay. I wonder if it was maybe a moto issue because over on Jack's side there hasn't been a development either, so maybe it was something going on. We are going to attacks now, at least. I think. Is that what you guys are saying too? We'll just come back and just hang out with us because we're great while we just sort out. Actually, can't get back in the stream anyway. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So I think we might want to jump over to Jack's if we have a chance. Mystery voice in our ear. Juggler. Sorry.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is just kind of something that happens sometimes. Right? These can't be perfect.
Yeah, I think we're best over here. I think this is a more accurate game state. We'll see when you guys join us what we're seeing in a second. But just to let you know, there hasn't actually been any action. I think there was issues all around, not just on our stream, but also just in the actual match. So what we're seeing now from Jack, we did switch sides. Sorry to mix up and hopefully not give any confusion. But we are attacking with our Trigon Predator with a big sword on us, destroying our little friend, bringing in. So what we think is going to happen is bringing the Arcbound Ravager. There it is, which we knew about in Philip's hand, sacking to the Ravager. So this was actually fine, right? Because Philip didn't have to play the Arcbound Ravager on his turn. He got to file it in. So we get we got a thick boy. We can maybe make some moves. We'll see. We can make some moves. This is gonna be great. Totally fine.
Yeah, I think looking at it from Philip's perspective, we not having a Blink Moth Nexus to move the Ravager counters onto or flyer is pretty upsetting,
nothing
right?
Flies. Okay, yeah. I guess the Trigon Predator flies, but
yeah. Because we could put if we drew Stinger, maybe that's something we could do. We could draw Stinger, Vial in Stinger, sacrifice the Ravager, and then put the Stinger on, or put the counters on the Stinger.
Finding out. Let's see.
It does not look like that was the case.
Well, not yet. We haven't targeted. Okay, there we go.
Well, no, I was saying before blocks. Because then you could kill the Trigon Predator.
Right, that's cooler than what I was thinking. I thought you were just going to do it after he tried to blow up the Arcbound Ravager. Okay, well, 2 Trigon Predators does seem better than 1. So we are at 3 life, or Philip is at 3 life. Sorry, we switched teams, so now I'm trying to remember. Philip's at 3 life, so we are likely going to move it on into game 3. There we go. We're going to move on into game 3. So now we get to see Jack's sideboarding, so that's kind of sweet. Get to switch it up a little bit. Looks like Jack, what's the split card?
It's called Rise Fall. So the fall is they discard 2 cards, but then if they discard a land this way, they get the land back. And then Rise is return a creature card from a graveyard and target creature on the battlefield to their owner's hand. So you can get a creature out of your graveyard and then bounce one of their creatures.
Cool. I assume it's a sideboard card because I don't remember seeing it.
There's exactly 1 in the main.
Oh, okay.
And then there's 2 more in the sideboard.
Cool. Did you see anything else coming in? Oh, I guess we see the
Seal of Doom.
Well, what's the destroy target artifact? What, Oxidize? We saw
Oxidize. Oxidize is a big one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here we are. We're back into the match after sideboarding. So we're going into game 3. Jack, we're watching from Jack's side. If you didn't notice or did just join us, Jack is a string of numbers. This hand looks pretty reasonable to me, especially knowing our Coiling Oracle luck. Just saying.
Yeah. It always hits the perfect land, right?
One might say it's a sneep, a snap keep. And it's got the split card you just described. We now have Oxidize in our hand. Actually, shoot, I was with Jack on this one. I feel like I was gonna snap play Utopia Sprawl, and then I was like, oh shoot, actually, I guess I should play this Oxidize.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. I mean, like, you don't want, like Arcbound Worker plus, maybe equipped with Skull Clamp, draw 2 cards. So just like making sure that the value isn't gained is I think something pretty big.
Okay, so we didn't go crazy town on the oracles this time, but we did draw a Mana Drain, which is probably one of our best. Well, it might not be great in this particular matchup, but it's still a pretty powerful card. So I think we'll be okay.
And actually, I think that's like one of the reasons that Philip boarded out Oxidia Golem is because while it is like, like a 3-mana 3/2 with haste. If it does get mana drained, that's pretty devastating. You're just giving your opponent 6 mana.
Quick question here: do you Coiling Oracle and assume we're super lucky, or do you just Utopia Sprawl pass?
If I'm Jack, I just assume I'm super lucky.
Oh yeah, okay. But if you were maybe everybody else.
Yeah, if maybe everybody else, then I just Utopia Sprawl.
Okay, that sounds like Jack's actually not taking your line of luck and going with the slightly more straightforward line.
Yeah, this is definitely a lot smarter and a lot safer.
Did you see what Utopia Sprawl color made?
I made black. That unlocks our Rise Fall from our hand, and then if we top deck like something like Mind Twist.
Yeah, that's sweet. That is sweet. So in play on the other side, we definitely have an Arcbound Ravager, and we have
an Arcbound the Slith.
Sure, thanks. This was great. Eric's resume for this stream was like, all artifacts I will know. Okay, so you're hired.
Arcbound Slith, for those that don't know, it has like the same stipulation or similar stipulation of like Dreadhorde Arcanist. If it deals combat damage to your opponent, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Which means that it's really cool with modular, right? Because you can stack a bunch of counters up on the top of it, and then eventually those counters will move somewhere else due to modular.
That's sweet. Okay. So we're heading back to Jack's side. We took some damage. We're going to try our luck at the Coiling Oracle.
Which will hit 100% of the time.
So, wow, you're right. So we didn't actually Philip didn't actually cast anything, right? He just attacked with the Blink Moths. Or Blink Moth, I guess.
Yep.
So that Mana Drain, unfortunately, did go unused. What's our plans here? What's the plan, Jack?
So looks like because Jack is casting Blister Pod, looks like the mana from the extra mana, I guess, from the Utopia Sprawl is not going to get used, but he's just going to keep holding open this Mana Drain.
Yeah, it was awkward because he put it on the he needed it from the green, right? Because he tapped the green to play. I don't know, actually. Oh, yeah, he tapped the green to play one of the oracles, then only had 1 green left for the Blister Pod. So.
Yep. And unfortunately, not having the black mana means that he had to use the Utopia Sprawl for black.
So we did get to use our Mana Drain that turn. I have no idea what it countered, but it countered something that's now in the graveyard. Oh, it countered the same thing that's already in play. Right?
Yep, they countered the Arcbound Slith.
We got to play almost free sword, which is crazy. Now we get to be attacking.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if, because of the modular, there might be like a reason for Philip to block. I don't think there is, but the damage is going to kill one of these, right? And then the other might be Rise Fallen. I don't know what you want to say. Risen, yeah. But the pickup of Mana Drain might change that plan.
Eric, do you suddenly now live inside of a vacuum cleaner?
So I changed the time to the water softener thing to like a time that is not this time, but it decided that this is the time.
Okay. I was just wondering if you decided to move inside of a vacuum cleaner while we were streaming, but that makes sense. It's no worries. The answer you provided was so good. I changed the time, but it decided, nope. I'm gonna do it now. Okay, sorry. I haven't really been updating us too much, but things that happen, we have things in play, and Philip does not have many things in play. Is that accurate? Well done, Caroline.
Yeah. Yay. That is accurate.
So it's really interesting. This is game 3, so we watched game 1 and game 2. We made some comments that, Philip's deck does get around things like Mind Twist if you can just spill your hand quickly. That, there's some aggression that wasn't really seen in other decks. This could be tough for Jack, et cetera, et cetera. I will say post sideboard, it does not look that way. Like Jack's spells just are doing things that are quite impactful. And I will say Philip doesn't have enough mana. It doesn't have a ton of mana in play, so that is definitely a contributing factor. But from this point of view that we're watching, Jack is definitely pulling ahead. Getting that. Oh, there we use the rise.
That was a sweet play.
The risen has risen.
Yeah, that actually. So
this is our third mana drain. Holy cow! I have been really distracted.
The crazy play that we just saw was Jack attacked with Coiling Oracle. No blocks from the Arcbound Ravager, because the Arcbound Ravager is a 3-power creature and doesn't want to die to the Coiling Oracle. Yeah. Jack shot his own Coiling Oracle to get it into the graveyard so that he could return Coiling Oracle with Rise and then bounce the Arcbound Ravager also with Rise and then cast the Coiling Oracle again.
Wow. And then we also see Jack has a third mana drain in our hand, so that Arcbound Ravager may just not see the light of day on the way back down.
Yeah. This is probably everything for Phil.
It might be another thinking about the next round of Magic. Speaking of which, I might go. Okay.
Yeah, but I do agree with your point. Philip is obviously does have red mana, does have red spells in his deck. We saw him board in something like Molten Nursery. We also saw him board in Overload. And Rolling Earthquake, I think was also boarded in. So there might be just some red cards stranded in his hand, and unfortunately they're just never going to see it.
We did encounter the Arcbound Ravager on the way back down, but it did chump block. Mm-hmm. It chump blocked the sword so that we wouldn't get any. Oh no, it's a different card. Wait, no, those are both just Arcbound Ravagers. Just kidding.
Yep.
Okay.
There's the 3 different arts of Arcbound Ravager. Yeah.
What is this? Seal of Doom? This is a non-black.
Destroy target non-black creature. I
did some research. And by that I mean I asked people what cards they were playing in their deck.
It is Dark Banishing.
This is Jack attacking for a lot of damage.
Yes. Almost lethal.
Almost. Hashtag almost lethal.
If he needed the Skull Clamp, possibly. I cannot imagine that is a thing that he needs. Oh, Mind Twist. Nice. Just when we needed it.
Well, not just when we needed it. We actually needed both. So we got to go back to Philip's turn. I don't imagine a ton's going to be happening over here, unfortunately. We got a 1/1 little worker. Going to work us up, I think, right? Going to bring us back. So we get to go into the bus.
Just brings it to lethal.
Yeah, I was going to say we get to go into the bus. Just kidding. No, we don't. And that is going to be the match.
Yeah. And unlike Old Standard, you couldn't even either Violin or Ornithopter at that point.
So yeah, welcome on back. We are probably going to be able to view one more match. I think I spied Paul Green coming in with the clutch, just always being ready for us to jump in.
Oh yeah. I love when they do that.
When we can. This is, I think, the third time that we've jumped into their match. So when Stream is ready to join us, let us know. But that was pretty fun. That was really cool to see kind of both of those decks do their things each game, game 1, game 2. And then game 3, Jack's sideboard cards did really seem to come in clutch there, especially the Oxidize. And also, I guess, the Trigon Predator in game 2, which is not sideboard, but still great.
Yeah.
So we're heading back. We're going to head into Paul just to catch everyone up. Paul's playing like a sort of similar deck that we just saw Philip playing, but a lot more colors is the easiest way to explain it. Looks like Molten Nursery is a bigger part of Paul's plan. A Herald of Kozilek. Whew, that's a card.
Yeah, I was actually on Twitter, and on Twitter, basically, people were saying about this deck that they had Molten Nursery in the sideboard similar to the Mono Red Machines deck, and then they just boarded it in against everything. So they moved it to the main deck.
Nice.
And made it more of a focal point.
So Rolling Earthquake. This is the one that does damage to things without horsemanship. I was really excited because I was able to name. Oh my gosh! Wait.
But there's a creature with horsemanship.
There's a creature playing with horsemanship. Suck it, Rolling Earthquake. Sorry, that's just so good. I was talking about how Ben White's deck has one creature on the sideboard with horsemanship, but I love it.
This turn is going to be pretty stellar though for Paul.
Yeah.
We get a 6 mana for Molten Nursery, which I think we can cast it more with Herald of Kozilek anyway. So we're gonna do 6 damage here. If nothing else happens, right?
So,
if there's no block.
Sorry, because you're talking about we cast Molten Nursery first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then that does 2.
Yeah, and then unfortunately the man, they are putting me to the test here on knowing the cards out of the white deck. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I have no idea what just happened. So, good luck. What's Planner Guide?
Planner Guide is the card that we just saw. It says remove Planner Guide from the game, remove all creatures from the game. At the end of turn, return those cards back to the play. So it's like a blink for all the creatures.
Okay.
But we do have Molten Nursery as a way to deal damage. Because we're going to play this Herald of Kozilek, we're going to do a bunch of damage with the Molten Nursery. So I think this is a kind of our way to victory. Because the Planner Guide can do this every turn for essentially the rest of the game.
Sorry, I'm just reading chat. It says, hold on, I need to trick a cat.
Yeah, what? Trick a cat.
The opponent says, congrats. Good job tricking the cat. I want to know more about that story. I'll get to the bottom of this for everybody, but that's fantastic. Hold on, I need to trick a cat.
There we go.
Oh, that looks like Paul winning the match, which is something we've seen a decent amount. I'm coming into watching Paul play. Paul wins very quickly. But we get to come back and see us. And cool thing was, this was round 6. We are not wrapped up fully. We are wrapped up in the things we can see, which is totally fine. So I think I've got a little bit of a game plan forming. I believe what we should do is take a little break skis, gather up, let some of the results come in. And when they come in, you're going to join us again. Eric, that's you. Mm-hmm. And we're going to grab someone from the sides. We're going to go grab Zvi. We're going to bring Zvi in, and you guys can get chatting. What do you think about that?
That sounds great. I'm very excited to see who he's chosen for all of the cool, best choice, sweetest brew. So.
Most powerful deck that isn't best choice. Come on, name the whole thing.
Sorry. I thought we were coming up with a new slogan for that one.
Yeah, MTGTIBAC. Nailed it. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. So the way this is going to work is Eric's going to hang out with Fee. Then Carolyn's going to pop in and hang out with Eric for the quarters after we show you guys the beautiful top 8, which is sort of forming. We have some ideas on who made it, but we'll share that with you shortly. And then I'll head back in for the semis and onward. So we'll see everybody in a few. Bye-bye.